Are you recording with your actual microphone?
Yeah, I've got my microphone hooked up to my phone, and I'm on Discord through my iPad
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
because I'm not gonna buy a computer.
Okay.
Sure.
So much more reasonable. Uh,
I need two devices that I already own in order to do the thing that one device that I don't own could do.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
that's how it works. So
Seth, I think you have the cold open.
I do
I
have
think
the
that
cold
was
open.
the cold open.
No, I have another cold open. Okay.
Oh, okay, go.
So I have news to start our cold open, which we also need to evaluate. Which is I've started playing RuneScape again, which I need to
Oh my
I need
God.
to justify my actions. Okay, here's my thing. Okay.
Boo.
So- Boo. Here's my thing. I've previously talked at length about RuneScape in a lot of different ways. One of the things I've previously talked about is I feel like I have an unhealthy relationship with this game.
Mhm.
But coming
As
in,
you keep coming back to it.
well, that's actually not why I feel like I have a bad relationship with this game. I felt like I had a bad relationship with this game for two things. One, I was just playing it like way too much. And two, I was like neglecting the other responsibilities in my life because I was playing too much.
I would say that is
that'll do it.
actually definitionally unhealthy. Like that's like a DSM-5, the way you diagnose things. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying it like that. So, but my life is in like a fundamentally different spot than it was when I was last playing it. I live with my girlfriend now. I have like dogs here at home. There are like actual responsibilities that I can not neglect without there being like real repercussions. So
Sounds like the perfect time to get into RuneScape again.
sounds like the perfect time to get into RuneScape. And you'll both be able to empathize with this change. So one is like this time last year, I was living by myself, right? And because Dempsey, you currently live by yourself, right?
I do.
So, and like, well, no, I mean, it's just because like the experience of living by yourself for me was a lot of like, hey, I have this like list of responsibilities of like things I need to do, but I have like no desire to do it. And I'd rather just like go play games instead, which I can't do anymore. And then Katie as well, something that is still true about my life. But like you're a teacher over the summer, you have like literally nothing to do. And it was very easy for me to occupy like many, many hours of my time with this game, of which I now have things to do, despite the fact that like I'm a teacher over the summer because I like live with somebody and that like incurs responsibilities. So I did think about this before like booting this game back up because I was like, I'm at least interested in how my relationship to this game evolves. Because like Rachel and I have been watching shows. I was just talking with Katie. Rachel and I started watching Love Island. And like when you watch like an hour show a day, you're like, I just need like, and I want to vaguely pay attention to it. I need like something to do on my phone. And RuneScape is the kind of game where you're like, I need to spend like 5 hours just kind of like clicking a tree. And I guess I'll do that over the next like 5 days of watching this show. Long story short, I'm interested to see how this evolves over the next couple weeks. Can I do this in a way that doesn't like disrupt my life? I think I can. The other side of this is like maybe I'm just like coping as somebody who like can't get over that unhealthy relationship. But like I guess there's only one way to find out.
Nice. How exciting.
How
What
exciting.
an experiment.
What an experiment. Hey, sometimes you got to experiment on yourself.
Hey, my recording ended. Can we clap again?
What the hell?
Oh, 3, 2, 1, clap.
Missed my whole bit.
Thank you.
Cut the
No,
entire cold open. Katie missed the whole thing.
But I didn't say much during that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was our longest cold open.
Yeah, my bad.
So true. It's about 5-minute cold open. That's okay. We're gonna have a 40-minute what we've been playing.
Yeah, it's just one of those. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Overthinking Games, a podcast about what games can teach us. My name is Seth. Who are the other people here?
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm
howdy.
a teacher.
I'm Dempsey. I have no significant qualifier to my existence. This is a podcast about what video games can teach us.
Yeah, this is a
Did
video game
anyone say
podcast.
that?
Yeah, I did say
you
that.
said that
We're
already.
good.
Okay, good job.
We're professionals.
We know what we're doing. Hey, and you know what? I'm remembering to do this right now. Before we get to the very end of the episode, Katie, where can you find us?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Seth. You can find us on TikTok, where Dempsey makes awesome shorts of his own topics about vinyl and cool things, as well as clips from our show. You can send us an email. We would love to hear from you about your thoughts on an episode you've listened to or suggestions for a topic, and that is found in the show notes. And we're also on Blue Sky and Instagram and all those places.
Sick. We always save it for the end. And every podcast I listen to does their plug at the beginning. And I was like, we should probably start doing that again. Anyway.
Wise.
So on the note of what comes next, what have you guys been playing this week? Dempsey, you said you haven't
Well,
been...
what's our topic this?
Oh, yeah, we got to say your topic.
We're talking about like how valuable video game experiences are to us. Anyway, we'll get to it. Dempsey.
So I have been on vacation for 2 weeks, and the only thing I've put like another 2 hours into Death Stranding. Not much more to say about that. I have played more UFO 50.
Ooh.
Because I had my Steam Deck with me. And so I think I only really played one more game. And it's kind of like, I forget what it's called. It's like within the first 10.
Describe it.
It's like a reverse tower defense game where you have two towers both sending troops at each other, and you can't control which troops you get, but you can control where you position them.
Oh, the one where it's like a board and you're going across the board.
Yes. And then you get a point if you make it. If you get a point if you make it to their side, and then each piece has different powers, and you can't decide which piece comes next, but you can decide where to position the pieces that you get.
I'm really bad at that one.
And I really like that one. I finished that one. And so that was kind of the only new thing I've played in the past 2 weeks. Other than some Balatro, some Pokemon, the trading card game, the app, and some Death Stranding. I think I'm going to have a lot more to say about Death Stranding, but I'm going to wait till I finish it. Because any opinion I have of that game changes dramatically. Like, after playing it for another 2 hours, it's like a completely different game every like 4 hours or whatever. So it's kind of hard to nail down an opinion. I do, however, because I have time, I saw the Superman movie, and I loved it so much. I just wanted to say that
Which Superman movie?
It's just called Superman. It's just a new Superman movie that came out yesterday. Was the first day. This is June.
Oh.
We're recording on June 11th, and
July 11th.
Oh yeah, July. We're recording on July 11th. And it was just such a beautiful, like a really tender, fantastic movie. So,
cool.
Yeah, I will hopefully actually get to play video games soon, eventually, hopefully. I really miss, like, I genuinely actually, like, I'm starting to crave video games. Like, like I want to play Expedition 33 so badly. Anyways, but that's where I am.
That the Claire Obscura or whatever. Yeah. Cool.
Katie, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of things, actually. First, though, Death Stranding, I put like 30 hours into it, and I really enjoyed all of my time, and now I feel like I've gotten what I need out of it, and I don't really want to play it anymore.
How far did you get?
I got to...
Spoilers.
Let's see. Yeah, spoilers. No, I got to... Like, I took the boat. I got fast travel.
Okay.
With Fragile. I got all of the people in their bunkers to like me and join the network.
Did you go up the mountain?
and
Like,
go up the mountain.
did you go?
I got like the craftsman and the engineer and the old man or whatever.
Okay. Did you get the cosplayer or the collector?
Uh-uh.
Did you make it to like the desert area? Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Should I keep going?
It in my opinion, I can't answer that because it's not the same game anymore. Like I have an assault rifle now. Like
Oh, wow.
like now it's just a combat game. Like it's
Really?
yeah, like it
'Cause-
legit is not the same game anymore.
I was getting fed up because every time I tried to go, and I know that's the point, everywhere you go, you run into obstacles, blah, blah, blah. Well, I got to a point where I was like fucking sick of running into the BTs and them dragging me off my bike and having to fight the big, like, I just fought a lion, like an eldritch lion, which was cool.
Sure.
But I'm like, I'm hitting them with my little blood bombs beforehand so that I don't get yanked off. And I'm like, this is scripted. There's no way to avoid it because they wanted to show me their cool eldritch lion. I get it.
Sure. And
But
they
I just want to go.
they take
where I wanna
so
go.
many of the blood things, but then you get a gun and you can just shoot them. And it becomes a really different game because right now you probably have the bolo things, right?
Yes.
Where you can kind of tie people up. So yeah, you just get like assault rifles and like different kind of
okay.
guns.
Okay.
Which
yeah,
really,
I just kind of was like fed up with it. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
yeah, it really changes like there's a whole World War I section as well where you're just going through like German trenches with an assault rifle and a shotgun.
Huh.
It's
weird.
There's like a whole trench warfare section that and it's very
Maybe I'll watch a highlights video. I feel like I've kind of gotten what I needed out of it. It was fun. I'm good now. I did finish a game of extreme artistic value. We want to talk about Death Stranding as being a, single source creator or whatever and all the things. I played Crush House all the way through to both endings. And that's the 1990s reality TV show.
Oh, yeah. You talked about this last time.
Filmographer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I finished it. I actually finished it today. And it was fun. And it took me about 20 hours and super chill. A great one to play while you watch Love Island, Seth. You'd enjoy that. It's a roguelike. It's a roguelike that you could watch and it's thematically on point with Love Island. Highly recommend. Yeah. I've also played, let's see, all of the things. I've also been playing Stacklands, which I've talked about before on the podcast. It's a civilization builder roguelike with cards instead of units. And you start like in the Stone Age and you work your way up. But what's cool about it is that there was recently an update that makes it playable handheld on the Steam Deck. Whereas before I had to hook it up to my dock and use a mouse. Now they've made it work really well with the Steam Deck and super fun. Been enjoying that one. And then my friend Roseanne listens to our show and she is not much of a gamer. She's becoming more of a gamer, but she was like, what the hell is a roguelike? So she came over the other day and we were playing this point and click mystery called Agent A and we beat that. And then I was like, oh, let me explain. She's like, because you talk about like Slay the Spire and it's like cards. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you playing a jack and they're playing a queen? And I was like, no. Let me
Not exactly.
you. So I showed her Slay the Spire and then I showed her Balatro. And I was like, these are both card game roguelikes. And she was like, no, thank you. And I was like, fair. We've also been playing Roll the Cat, which is, I've played a lot of things. Sorry, y'all. Roll the Cat is basically Baba Is You minus the logic word puzzles. So you play as this woman that has two cats.
It's basically Baba Is You, except scrap the main premise of the game.
So the way it works is this. you are a beleaguered cat owner with two cats who keep waking you up at 4 a.m, and you have to get them into bed by rolling them onto their cat beds. However, you're on this like grid room, and there's a certain way you have to figure out how to move them both to get them where they need to go. And it's like Baba Is You, where if you get Baba up against the wall, you can't push it down.
Katie, are you
right?
describing a Sokoban puzzle? What's the name
I
of this
don't know.
game?
Am I? Roll the cat? Does it have a name?
I also don't know what a soak. I'm with you, Katie. I do not know what a Sokoban puzzle is.
It's fine. Seth's gonna
Yeah, you're
show us
describing a
whatever he
Sokoban
is.
puzzle. It's a
Oh.
Weeb.
it's- no, yeah, this is like this might be one of the weebiest things I've said in a while. It is an old Japanese puzzle game about moving boxes around a warehouse in order to navigate the box puzzle to the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Except for it's cats.
yeah. I've played Near Automata has those.
Here,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big like. Let me drop it in the Wikipedia article in the chat, and
Okay.
you guys.
I love that you were able to figure out what I was talking about from that. Good job, you.
Well, because I was like, there's only there's only so many games that involve like pushing things around in order to solve a puzzle, and typically it's inspired by like Sokoban, which is I think is how you pronounce it. That's how it's at least like spelled. If you guys look at the Wikipedia article, there's a GIF there that you're gonna be like, oh yes, I know exactly what this is.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a really fun game, especially if you like cats. But am I right that that's kind of like a Baba Is You, but minus the logic puzzle? Okay. And there's more. I've also been playing a game called The Swapper, which reminds me of something on UFO 50, but I don't know which one it's called. And it's one where you make a copy of yourself to navigate this platformer world. And so you make like a copy of yourself, and then you can, in order to like press down a lever or to like get to some place that you can't normally reach. But when you move, your copy moves as well. And so it's a puzzle game where you're using up to 4 copies of yourself to traverse this alien planet. And I know that there's a game like that on UFO 50, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's super cool. And what's so neat about it is that the background is all made out of like they physically made the levels and then digitized them. So they're made out of like modeling clay and cork and felt and all kinds of different like crafting materials, and then they digitized it. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's it. That's my lengthy list. Oh no, I lied. Rogue Legacy. I've been playing Rogue Legacy. Have you played that, Dempsey?
I do not know what that is.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's a roguelike where you play as like it's every person that you pick once they die, you choose from their offspring. And depending on who you choose, I think dictates what kind of traits you see in your future possible choices. I could be wrong. It might not be that involved. But so what do you think, Seth?
I don't think so.
Okay. I wondered. I thought that might be the case.
I think it's more just like lore.
It's just random. So they get like different, there'll be like the different classes. There's knave, paladin, and barbarian, mage. Maybe I haven't unlocked that yet. And then they have like special traits. So like they can have, one of them was like monochromia. You see only in black and white. So then when you pick that person, you play the level's in black and white. Or another one was something where you don't have good vision, so you can only see the immediate area around you, and you have like a fog of war everywhere else. And then there's some that like you're super big, you knock people over when you hit them. You're super small, you get knocked over when you get hit. Things like that. So, and then every time you run through this castle fighting the bad guys and the monsters, you gain gold, and then you use that gold to upgrade your character and your castle and things like that. So every run you're making continual progress. But whatever money you get gets taken by Charon at the gate of the castle. So if you were to get like 600 gold and you spent 400 of it and all you had left was 200 and it wasn't enough to spend on anything, you just have to throw it away. So I've been having fun with that. It's really hard. I suck at it, but it's fun. That's what I was playing while I was waiting for you for a podcast today. What have you been playing, Seth?
I played a lot of different things, and I have some commentary. So I talked about been playing RuneScape, but you know what? Just in general terms, it's fun to come back to a game after like 6 months, where the things that I achieved at like the end of the 6 months, I was like, oh, I have like this boss to beat, this boss to beat, this boss to beat. And like, I don't feel super confident about doing that. But after taking like a 6-month break, you kind of like leave all those feelings behind and you come back to a game and you're like, I'm willing to try these things again. And I think I might have just been in that sort of mood over the last like couple weeks, because I went back to Baldur's Gate 3, which I dropped a rant about in the chat, if you guys remember.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I will say this again, because I don't know why, in the year of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ 2025, that games don't autosave every 10 seconds. I don't understand.
There is an autosave button that you could do, though.
Yes, there's a manual save,
Like
but that's
quick save.
That's not the point. A game should just
I don't want to be
autosave.
responsible for my own progress.
What?
You don't want to be responsible for your own progress. You want it to save for you.
Yes. It's 2025. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive. Save after literally every time I click a button. Like, what's the problem? I don't get it. So like, and especially in a game like Baldur's Gate, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like walk around and talk to people, and then I talk to some guy and he's like, what's your deal, pal? And my 3 answers are like, fight him back, keep talking, or like run away like a coward. And you're like, well, I'm playing a paladin, I'm gonna break my oath if I run away like a coward, so I'm gonna talk. And then you talk, you fail your persuasion check, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna kill you. And I'm like, well, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I'm gonna reload my last save, and my last save is like half an hour ago. Like, what?
No.
What,
So I take it to, I can infer rather that you revisited Baldur's Gate and now you've put it away again.
This is correct. This is the exact same scenario that I landed myself the last time I stopped playing Baldur's Gate. So if I continue to play Baldur's Gate, I'm going to write an auto hotkey script that just makes a quick save every minute. It just automatically hits F5 for me just every minute, as the game should be doing anyway. And then that way I might be able to enjoy this game.
Cool.
I fundamentally disagree
That's cool.
with this. If you
Why?
were playing, because
Why?
if you were, it's supposed to be like D&D. Like, you would not let your DM, like, your DM would not let you, like, undo decisions once you make them.
Oh,
But, okay,
they want us to live
so
with our
then
choices.
fucking kill my character when I die in combat. But it doesn't do that. It resets you to your last save when your team wipes in combat. So, like, the point's irrelevant, because that's not even how the game fundamentally works. Okay, I'll sit through my combat
That's a
then
good
and then
point.
fucking wipe, and then I'm back 30 minutes again! I don't get it. I don't get how this game got Game of the Year. Shit ass design decisions.
It's so good.
Wow.
Yeah, because, oh my goodness.
I'm playing with my mom and my brother right now. It's fun.
It's the higher stakes. It's, you have to commit to things.
No, you don't.
So how
you
would
could
you
just reset to a previous save? There's no committing to anything.
How would you? Okay, here I'm gonna. How about playing it in honor mode instead?
What? So that
maybe
like
you
my
would-
character is forced dead anytime I just like die?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honor
the
mode-
solution for my
it
design problem is to force myself into a hardcore mode where I'm just
It
actually
deletes-
going to get my progress wiped if I make a bad decision. Yeah, that sounds like a fun time.
Yeah,
The Dark Souls of Baldur's Gate.
No, because Dark Souls actually saves your progress like every second.
this.
I said this in our group chat too. Your power can go out in the middle of a Dark Souls game, and you boot that game up, you're on the exact pixel you left off on. Like, that game, it literally copies everything you do every second. So, like, why?
No excuses, Larian Studios. No excuses.
I don't get it. Anyway, that's my Baldur's Gate rant. I'm done. What else do I have to talk about? Okay, I also commented on this. I played Outer Wilds for...
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. I hate being a part of this podcast.
I played Outer Wilds for 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's enough to what? Play it twice?
Yeah, I think so.
Two?
Yeah, I think I played through like twice. So my first time playing through, I'm wandering around the starting area, right? You get to the statue, it gives you the little flashback. I'm like, oh, that's fun. I got in the spaceship. It takes a second to figure out the controls. I'm flying around. I landed on the moon because I was like, that's the closest thing to go to. I had to figure out spaceship controls. I get there. I don't know. There's some puzzle where it's like you can like drag the ball around and it tells you places to go. And I was like, oh, that's funky. And then I looked up and I saw the sun and I was like, that's not the same color it was before. And then I look at the map and because it's got the big grid and I see the sun slowly overcompassing the next box of the grid. And I went, I see. We have an impending problem. And I did some other stuff on the moon for a while. And then I got up off the moon and I was like, oh, I'll go check out one of the other planets. And then I'm like, the sun has turned blue. And then I opened up the whole galaxy map. I opened up the solar system map and I was like, no, I feel like I want to look at this through the window in the spaceship. And I was like, okay, I get the premise of this game. And then I thought about it for another second and I was like, oh, I get why Dempsey likes this game. And I think I said in the chat, it's like, this just feels like a game about finding meaning despite the fact that the universe is ending. And it's inherently
that's what the whole game's about.
But you need to find meaning ananyway. And I was like, okay,
Yes.
I get the thesis of this game and why Dempsey likes it. And then I closed it and didn't come back to it. I was like, I get it. I know why Dempsey likes it.
There's a whole romance story between the scientists that you read the messages they leave for each other.
I'm sure there is.
So it's so lovely. And then you find friends and things like that. It's good.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for meaning in my real life, so I don't need to play it.
It's oh my god.
Listen,
we need to get.
I probably will revisit it. Don't get me wrong.
There's some people. So we follow because I control the TikTok. So we follow so many Outer Wilds creators. There's so many people. There's like a whole digital ecosystem. I watched a school performance of this kid. It was like a middle school band of kids doing the Outer Wilds theme of these middle schoolers. I need to get one of these people on there. There's John Outer Wilds, who I follow, and then
that's funny.
That's his username is John Outer Wilds.
Well, it's because there's a joke in the Dark Souls community about the main character just being called John Dark Souls. So the fact that his name is John Outer Wilds is I'm sure, the same good relationship.
That is what you need to do, Dempsey. You need to have your own people come on and talk about it with you. Okay, we are not.
Yeah, this
we
is
can't be everything for you.
Sounds like I met some friends who are polyamorous when I went to Comic-Con the other week. And that's the kind of you can't be everyone. Anyways, let's talk about value.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
I do have. I have one last thing to talk about. Can't be everything
to everyone.
Which is on the top.
If you are listening to this, don't listen to Seth. Play Outer Wilds.
Okay, don't get me wrong. You should play this game. No, I'm absolutely. You should play this game.
He's not saying don't play.
You can watch the sun explode.
Exactly. I think Okay, I need to qualify this because I'm not saying Outer Wilds is bad by any means. I think I think in a short time I have sort of gotten the thesis of Outer Wilds, and therefore like I will return to it. Um, I did know the sun was going to explode, which is
Maybe
kind of
because
like I
Dempsey
feel the
spoiled it
important
for you
detail.
months ago.
And I do kind of understand it because we've talked about it before. You should play Outer Wilds. Despite knowing that, you should go play Outer Wilds. It does seem like a lovely game. I'm not in like the right kind of mental space where like I feel like it's super valuable for me to play it, which will lead us into like our topic. But it's a great game. You should play it. It's maybe not a great game for me right now, but
Fair. I need to clap again.
God damn it, Katie.
I'm having trouble.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Dempsey's gonna kill
That
you.
was so
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine now the rest of the time because I think I ran out of space on my phone. That's why it turned off.
That's
So
crazy.
I fixed it.
Okay. So
It's fine.
let's talk value. I feel like an alpha male podcast.
Oh, the what is it? The fucking carousel of value or something like that from BioShock.
What the fuck are you?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay.
You know?
I do now.
Like,
Yeah.
You go to the vending machine and it's like I think they call it like the carousel of values and it's the same voices. The carousel of value.
That-
and it's like stuck in my head and it's like a whole echolalia thing. I can't help myself.
That is not a detail that stayed with me from that game. Mostly, I remember pipe puzzles. Was that a big part of BioShock?
Yes.
That's most of what I remember
love
from
those.
BioShock.
Those are so fun.
This is the pipe puzzles. Okay, so the thesis of this episode is Seth going to get a Switch 2?
Mhm.
Loosely, yeah. So, okay, before the Switch 2 came out, I was still in school. I was talking with a student about it like every day. I was really excited. The prices for everything came out. I was a little less excited, but like,
Was it like $700?
no, I think it's like $5 for like the Switch 2 plus the Mario Kart bundle. Let me just look it up real quick because I guess it's $500, which like is, for the record, for like a gaming console is not like an insane amount of money. I think I spent like $400 on my PS5, but like,
But for a Nintendo gaming device that you know is going to be several generations back in technology.
well, right. And so this is where like the value question comes into hand because I know that I eventually want to get a Switch 2. I'm going to want to play Duskbloods, the upcoming FromSoft game when it comes out. I've heard mixed reviews about Mario Kart World, but the issue is like I don't have any other Switch 2 games I'm currently that interested in getting. And so that creates this question of like, okay, I know I want to purchase this thing, but is it valuable for me to purchase right now? And that's a little bit of what I'm like mentally wrestling with. But so just speaking in general, like what is it about like games or gaming in a general sense that like you find to be a valuable use of your time?
I think until I have direct access to the experiences, like I think retroactively it's a lot easier to talk about like why I like my PS5. But prior to owning a PS5, obviously I didn't have those reasons to like I did not know how good Ghost of Tsushima was before I played Ghost of Tsushima. So I think it's like the promise of those experiences. And I think it's the tradition, it's like the cultural tradition or the tradition of product that you are stepping into and you are buying your way into that ecosystem. And I think for me, the Switch 2 simply does not have a strong enough tradition of product. Like it doesn't have a culture around it that's really celebrating it. Like when I got a Switch, when I stepped in to get in a Switch, there was already Tears of the Kingdom, there was already Animal Crossing, Mario Kart, and kind of these, not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. And so like when I bought into that ecosystem, it was already kind of matured enough for people to be like, you got to play Mario Odyssey. That's a must have for the Switch. This is, if you're going to own this console, this is an important part of the experience. I don't feel like that exists for the Switch 2 yet. Like I feel like Mario Kart, maybe the Donkey Kong game, possibly, but like it just doesn't feel like. So I will probably wait a year. Like maybe during Christmas time, depending on like Metroid and things like that. Um, or yeah, or but like more than likely, I still play my Switch One. I like playing Hollow Knight and Ori and all of my Switch One games. Like my indie games work really well. I probably won't play Tears of the Kingdom until I play it on the Switch 2 because I hear it runs a lot better on the Switch 2. And there's a couple of first party Nintendo games that I hear run a lot better on the Switch 2. So I think there is a value proposition. It just doesn't have the robust like community, tradition, library that I think is I don't know what I would be purchasing at this point, other than like so I don't have to spend that money in a year. That's the kind of argument that I would have to make to myself in order to pull the trigger right now.
Hmm. That's what I ran into with the PlayStation 5 as well. I had a PS4. I could play all the games I wanted to play on my PS4, and it was only this last year that I finally bit the bullet because my PS4 just wasn't working properly anymore, so I had to upgrade. But I think when the Switch came out, the landscape was very different. We didn't have the Steam Deck yet.
Yeah.
And so for me, the reason that I wanted to switch, because I'm not a huge Nintendo person, but I wanted handheld and I wanted access to all of these cool indie games that I could get on the Switch that I couldn't get on my PlayStation. And I wanted to be able to play in bed. And also I'm pretty sure it came out 2020. And I think that it was very wise in the way that it, was it 2020 or 2019? But in the way that it marketed itself, because like Animal Crossing was the thing that people needed in that time, you know?
The Switch?
Yeah.
The Switch came out in like 2016.
Well, when did the Animal Crossing came out? 2020.
Yeah, Animal Crossing came out in 2020.
Yeah, that's what it was. Animal Crossing came out 2020.
Yeah,
and
I didn't get a Switch until like 2021.
Okay, I got my Switch in 2020 because I was sad and lonely, and so I played Animal Crossing.
Yeah, but I think the Switch came out in 2016, right?
Was it that long ago? 2017. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm behind on the times. I don't know. Disregard everything I've said. No, but from a handheld perspective, the landscape of handhelds is really different now. So, like to me, it would be more worth it to buy my Steam Deck than to get a Switch 2. But if it's something that you're planning to do with like a friend or a partner, then the Switch 2 might be a better choice because it's more optimized for that kind of gameplay versus the Steam Deck, which is not.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right about the Steam Deck. I think the Steam Deck is a big reason why I'm not needing to fill the like that's where the Switch 2 shaped hole in my heart is being filled by right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Steam Deck, and I think the beauty of the Steam Deck is you have access to more games. That there's like a billion like small, really small indie games that you have access to that don't have to, because it's easier to get on Steam than it is to get on the Switch store.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think first party Nintendo is the reason why I would buy a Switch, and there's just not enough first party Nintendo at the moment to justify that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this, arguments as a whole, right? It makes sense. Like, I'm looking at, I don't own a Steam Deck, right? So, like, in terms of value, and no, to be fair, I also don't really do, like, a lot of mobile gaming. Like, I do play a lot of games on, like, on my phone. But now that I think about it, there's nothing really, like, stopping me from being like, oh, like, we're playing a game on the couch. Like, I could play Bug Fables, or, I could play any of those other, like, Switch games I have. We have been playing a lot of like Mario Kart recently, so it would be fun to like upgrade to the newest Mario Kart, which looks a lot of fun. So, like from our conversation so far, like Dempsey, you mentioned like tradition and like community is like, value to you for like the gaming sense.
Yeah, and I think like for example for like the PS5. Because I've been so invested in the PS5 and I'm a part of that like community and discourse, and first party Sony titles are very important to me, I'm probably more likely to jump on the PS6 because that's the tradition of video games that I feel more connected to. And
Mm-hmm.
so, although like when the Switch 2 comes out, I'm probably going to wait a year or two. But when like in 5 years, whatever, when the PS6 comes out, I think I'm really likely to get that day one or as soon as I can, because I really want to be a participant. That tradition is more important to me than the Nintendo community is.
Mm. So there's like an element of timeliness if you're part of the community, because you don't want to have that FOMO of
Yes.
missing out on the
Definitely.
discovery phase while everybody else is having the
Yes.
discovery phase.
Yeah, 100%.
I was thinking that
Yeah.
about Death Stranding, actually, and how cool it would be to play Death Stranding 2 when it first comes out, because nobody's put, their mark on the
Sure.
world yet.
Sure.
And so that is a valuable experience. That being said, I think when it comes to choosing things like especially like a large purchase like a console, I think for me the value is like very practical. Like, do I need this? Does it fit a niche that I don't already have filled? Otherwise, I mean, I will wait 5 years to get the next console.
Yeah, and I'm literally running into both sides, and this is why I'm sort of like sitting on the Switch 2 right now. Is like I look at myself when I played Elden Ring, because I literally played Elden Ring like as soon as I could. I pre-downloaded Elden Ring on my PS5. I played it like at midnight, and I played like 48 hours the first weekend that I could have possibly played Elden Ring. Like I played so much
Sure.
Elden Ring. And that was very valuable to me, like as an experience, because then like I could go on the Elden Ring subreddit and like see other people like experiencing the game as I was also experiencing it. And I had
Yeah.
other friends who were also like really excited to play the game, and we could talk about like, oh, I just went to here, like you should check this thing out. And that was cool to be like, part of this like micro community playing this game for the first time and like being able to experience that. But I mean, I've also been on the other side of that, where like sometimes you get to a game that's like 5 years late, and then there's all, everybody's played and passed it. Katie, I'm sure if you continue to play Rogue Legacy, you're going to experience this a little bit, where like, Rogue Legacy 2 is already out. And that's already also a fairly old game at this point. I think Rogue Legacy 2 came out like 3 or 4 years ago. So most people who are going to play Rogue Legacy 2 have already like played it and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot less of like a community aspect to playing that game. The other side of it though, right, is like you said, Katie, what's the sort of niche it covers for me? And like I already own a Switch. And most of the games I'm going to want to play on the Switch 2, I could just play on my Switch. Like, yeah, I could replay Bug Fables, but like I can also just do that on my Switch. Or like, I don't know, we could play the new Mario Kart. But like I do have Mario Kart 8, and we had somebody over last night and they were just hanging and we were playing it, and like we played a track or two that like we had never played yet. Just because that game has like so many tracks with the DLC. So
I was
like
gonna say that's kind of a behemoth of a game.
so like
Yeah.
there's still a lot of experiences in that game I haven't had yet.
There is something about the satisfaction in knowing you have access to the best version of something. And I think if I was to buy the Switch 2, that's a itch that it would be scratching for me. Like I have access to NSO, right? Nintendo Switch Online, but I can't play GameCube games on it, right? And like I don't know if that's like necessarily affecting my quality of life or whatever, but there is something I think satisfying about knowing that you have access to all of these, like all of the best features. It's I got a PS5 Pro, which was partly because I gave my PS5 to my mom so she can play Baldur's Gate, and so it was partly as a gift to someone. But also partly because like I like having a PS5 Pro, knowing that when Ghost of Yotai comes out, I'm gonna be playing that and it's gonna be looking the best it could possibly look. And even if the material experience is not actually that much difference, there's something satisfying in my brain that is like comforting about like this is like the canonical like artistic vision. This is the best way to
Yeah.
experience that.
Like
And I think
there's some
there's
value
something
for
nice about
you
that.
in like having this in like maybe a better way like it was supposed to be shown.
Yeah, yeah, and like I think like Tears of the Kingdom is a good example of that. Of like knowing like I own Tears of the Kingdom, but knowing that I can play Tears of the Kingdom in the best way possible. I think there's also some value of that, and that's kind of like I don't know, that feels a lot more intangible, but it's definitely something that I think about. Like I'll buy a TV like once every like 5 to 7 years, and for me, I place a lot of importance on my TV purchase, and I want like the best like the best technology that's available for consumers in my TV. I want like the OLED or like the deepest blacks or stuff like that, just so I know that when I'm watching a movie I'm experiencing at home, I'm experiencing like the best possible version of that. And yeah, I think yeah, the Switch 2 is a version of that right
I think it's funny that you mentioned the TV, Dempsey, because that's what I was thinking about. But I come at it from the completely opposite perspective, in
now.
that once you take the TV home and you don't have anything to compare it to, good enough. You never know the
Yeah,
difference.
I
And
agree with that.
and that's where I run into with like when I was playing things on my PS4 versus getting the PS5, like I knew that Horizon Forbidden West wasn't in the greatest fidelity compared to what I would get on the PS5. But I
Sure,
didn't care because I wasn't watching someone else play the PS5 right next to me, you know? And
sure.
so to me, that that kind of value doesn't hold a lot of weight for me. It's but that like what you said about having access, not necessarily to, oh, I've got the best technology or I know I've got the best graphical quality, but oh, I can play any of the games in the Steam, the Steam store. That was hugely valuable to me when deciding between a Steam Deck and like a PS5 at the time. And so just the option to be able to get all of these games and have 1,000 games in my library that I'm never going to play, it's still consumerism, but it feels more practical to me. And so then that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, like it sounds like if I'm just sort of like running this value idea through like the thesis generator, like Dempsey, it sounds like the thing that's valuable to you for this sort of gaming experience is like the community aspect, but then also like the vision. Like it's valuable to you to have like good technology to recognize like the vision of what this is supposed to be.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a difference for me between playing a game like there's some games that are PS5 games and some games that are Steam Deck games. And even if a PS5 can run or even if a Steam Deck can run some games, I'm still not going to put that on put that on my Steam Deck that's a PS5 game. So like Baldur's Gate, your Steam Deck can run Baldur's Gate, but that's I don't like that. I want the Baldur's Gate is a PS5 game because that's the best way to that a high end PC would be the best version, but that's like I don't
that's
want to mess
tough.
with that. So.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think of like probably the most relatable experience for people is like I can go to a movie, I can go to a movie theater and like watch a movie, or I can like wait for it to come to like a streaming service and watch it at home. But those are going to be like two very different experiences. Like if you really
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah.
experience a movie, you should probably like go to a movie theater. And like yeah, it's going to cost you like 14 or 15 bucks or whatever a movie ticket costs now, but like you're going to get a much like fuller experience out of that. And like that comes at a
unless
premium.
unless the experience that you value is being able to sit on your couch in your pajamas and pop your own popcorn and watch it in the comfort of your own home, in which case it's valuable enough to rent it for 4
Well,
bucks.
and this is right. This is to me sort of the difference between like your value systems at play here, right? Like I see Dempsey as like valuing like the community aspect. He wants to write like a letterboxed review about this movie
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
just watched that just came out, and he wants other people to see his letterboxed review and give it a like because bigger number makes him feel like a better person. Um,
yeah.
and then Katie, you're like, I don't care about those things. Like the monetary value is what's important to me. So like I'll just wait for it to be on a streaming service or like be able to rent it for like $4 because like what do I care, right?
Yeah, because the experience that I'm looking for is more important than the aesthetic experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
Sure,
it doesn't
yeah,
need to
yeah.
be as beautiful and sound as great as it would in the movie theater because I want to watch it on my couch.
right. Which I think like, and I have a lot of complaints about the internet that I've been seething about in person, but like the internet would I think like paint these two like takes as like at odds with each other and like one of them being correct and the other one being wrong. But like I both of these sound like completely valid takes to me on like the value prospect, right? And relating it back to like the PS5 idea here, it's like, do I want to get this thing like sooner because I know that there's some sort of like value I'll get out of like being part of like a community and being able to play these games early, or like $500 is $500, right? There is some sort of like monetary, like literal value aspect to this. That's like, should I be spending like $500 on the newest console, like when I already own a Switch that is like really perfectly capable of doing all the things that I want it to do? I don't know. Like, I you know,
I was like, and where have you landed?
I mean, so
To me, the answer is very apparent.
I mean,
Don't
like,
get it right now.
well, I mean, that's my answer now. Is like, why not? Um,
Do you think there's something nice knowing that you don't have to buy it later though?
It might go on sale later.
well, that's just the thing. It's on sale now, technically, because
Is it?
the $500 version I can get, I think it's $550, comes with like Mario Kart. Technically at a discount because I think after this it's going to be like $80 or $90.
Yeah, Mario Kart by itself costs $80, but if you get a bundle, it only costs like $50 something.
What's it going to do on Black Friday?
Yeah, but like, okay, but see, this is where it's like, is it that waking up early or like fighting people on Black Friday,
No, online,
not valuable
on
to
the
me?
internet. Are you are you insane? No. Internet Black Friday. Cyber
No,
Monday.
even that is
Come on
like,
now.
I don't feel like fighting bots for like internet sales or something. Like, don't. Plus, I think the Switch 2 is too new. I don't think it's really going on like sale for Black Friday.
I don't think it's going to go on sale for Black Friday.
So get all the people who haven't bought it already, who are on the fence about buying it for their kid, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, it's $100 off."
Yeah, I mean, okay, but also like, you know, I should have invested in Google when I was born, but like I didn't. So like well, what? I can't, you know, see the future.
This is the Bitcoin argument. This is
Yeah.
I need to I need to make an alarm on my phone to check the Switch prices in Black Friday.
Oh, just to stick it to me. Yeah,
is there
actually.
is there anything that the Switch 2 could have been? Because I think with the Switch, it's different with the, because I feel like the Switch, because you have a PC, it's like any
Yeah.
indie games you can play on Steam.
I can play
so, like,
virtually any game that comes out as long as it's not like a console exclusive.
You had mentioned
Yeah.
before. Oh, I'm sorry, Dempsey. Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because the Switch 2 is so iterative, where it's basically just like the Switch but a little bit better. Do you think there's anything they could have given you that would have made it more worth it?
I mean,
Like, there's
like right
anything it
now,
could have
what I'm
been?
seeing is, I guess my main problem is it just doesn't feel like there's a lot of like games right now. Like if I was more confident in like, I am going to buy this thing and then I'm going to have like a lot of stuff to do with it, like right now,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm falling into the like Gen Z lack of delayed gratification thing. But like,
I
if
don't think
I want to
so.
buy like a Switch and then I want to have like stuff to do with it. Like I
You don't
understand
want-
objectively that like, yeah, Duskbloods will come out at some point and like the new Pokemon game will be coming out for Switch 2 and like I'm going to want to play it.
So is that, in that case, if you think about it like that, if a game costs $60, so that's $120. So are those two games that you're willing to spend $720 to play?
Right.
I don't think that's how console math works. I don't.
It
I don't
is.
agree
Sort
with
of
your
how console
philosophy.
math
It is $500 for the game,
Well,
for
and
the
I guess-
console,
okay,
for the
no.
doorstop.
Right, but
Because
this
And then-
so then by that logic, every time you buy a game, the console gets cheaper.
Yes. 100%.
No.
Okay.
Price per hour goes down the more time I spend on it.
Well, and this is another thing I wanted to bring up eventually. Okay, so my two things about this is Katie's not wrong.
Sorry.
Because
Okay.
people, and I've done this before, where you like assign like, hey, this thing is going to be value to me if I get like X amount of entertainment out of it, like per dollar spent. We only have so many dollars to like throw around in our lives on silly things like video games. So like one that I've heard people say before is like, oh, I want to be able to get like $1 per like hour of game, an hour per dollar I spend on this game. So like if I spend $60 on this game, I want to be able to get like 60 hours out of it. And I think obviously that works for like some games. Like, I don't know, if I'm buying like the newest Call of Duty and I spend like $70 on it, like, I don't know, I probably want to play it for like 70 hours. But there's a lot of games I've played where like, if it's a shorter experience, that's not necessarily true. Like the beginner's guide, I don't know, I paid like $10 for it and it's like a 90-minute game, you know?
Mm-hmm. The way that I've heard, my brother and I have talked about this before, and he's like, you know, if a game costs $15 and you play it for 2 or 3 hours, he uses the movie analogy, you know, you spend that to go to a movie. So what's the problem there, you know? So I do think you don't necessarily have to get like 1-to-1, but I think I don't think it's a delayed gratification thing to not want to spend $500 now on something that doesn't have a lot to offer. Especially when you have to pay for those things that it has to offer, and they're not even that, like, at the moment, enticing.
Well, it's like, you know, it's like paying to get into the Ren Fair and then having to pay a bunch of other money, right? Like,
video games are Ren fairs. You're so right.
Video game consoles are Renaissance fairs.
It's so true.
But like, because I know that eventually I will get more value out of this. Like the new Pokemon games.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know that there are games that will come out down the line that I will want to play on my Switch.
Yeah,
but that just don't exist yet. But I guess that's kind of that would be the scary part about purchasing a console right now, is that's like an unknown in the future, right? So, you know,
right.
If it takes 6 months for those games to come out, like, what is my life going to look like in 6 months? Is my relationship to my Switch 2 going to have changed? Or like, is my life going to be in a different spot where like, I'm not really going to have time to play these new games when they come out? Like, yeah, it used to be that like a game would come out and I could spend 48 hours in a single weekend playing it. But now, like, I live with my girlfriend and I don't have the ability to do that anymore because A, she would yell at me, and B, I shouldn't be doing that anyway. Then I actually have somebody around to tell me that.
To observe you and perceive and to be you like, when you're doing that.
This is dumb. Go to bed. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You're right.
You're like, I don't wish to be perceived. Thank you.
I don't wish to be perceived. Go away. So I don't know what it is. It's I think there's this interesting like and this is the thing, you know, do I want to be spending $550 or whatever on a Switch 2 tonight? But like, do I have the monetary means to? I mean, I guess I do have like money.
Just because you have the money doesn't mean you can afford it. That's something that I learned.
But like, okay, but I'm in a spot where I can afford it, is the long story short.
Right.
So
it's gonna do it. Get it now, and then it'll be free later.
Don't do it now, and then when it's actually worth it, you can do it.
No, the least helpful mental processing, because Dempsey's on my left shoulder being like, buy it, buy it, buy it, and Katie's like, don't buy it, don't buy it.
No, if you're gonna buy anything, buy a Steam Deck, dude. You already have a massive library.
Yeah, but
you
like,
play it on handheld.
But I like have a computer that I can play it.
Sure, emulation or something like that. I don't know how that works.
You're gonna.
I think it's a little more complicated.
Pirate the newest.
No, is that what that is?
Pirate Mario Kart World.
We are not endorsing crimes unless you can do it without getting caught. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I
I'm a
think
teacher. I'm held to a higher standard.
is that true? If you buy it
A
now,
little
your
bit.
future self will thank you. Your future self will be like, "Thank God I don't have to
Well,
buy it now that
what
now
about
that I
future
want to
self
play."
when something else $500 that you'd like to buy, like a trip to Disneyland or something with your girlfriend?
That Seth's not going to Disneyland.
He
That's
could.
also way more than
He could go to Disney
$500.
World.
Yeah.
Not for $500. He's not. That's true.
Maybe like 10x, but
Yeah. All right. I think we did an episode.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going to buy the Switch 2, or if you
Yeah,
already
let
bought the
us know
Switch
if you're
2,
gonna buy
or
the
a
Switch
Steam Deck, or a PS5.
Let us
Or
know
if
if
you
you
just
think
agree
I should
with
buy a
me.
Switch too.
Because I'm right. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Overthinking Games, a podcast about what games can teach us. We said it at the beginning, but I'll just tell you again. Send us an email. It's in the show notes. And you can find us on TikTok and all of the places that you find your podcasts. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.